Hi, Pamela Ann here with Easy Messages. Messages that help you command your world with such precision you can even put a date on it. All right, this evening I'm getting ready to hit the hay, but before I do, we're going to have the talk about sex. We're going to have the sex talk. And it's not going to be quite what you're thinking it's going to be. Oh yeah, it's talking about sex for sure. But there is more than just a reason for having sex for procreation as far as like popping out babies and stuff. I was told recently to share this information with this beautiful couple, this amazing couple. And sometimes I'm like, Lord, are you kidding me? You're asking me to do this? It's like, oh my gosh. I don't always know the reasoning for these things, but one thing I do know is that I am supposed to open my mouth and let him speak through me. And oh my gosh. But this is one thing I do know. I will not lose my gift. So I'm going to open up my mouth and speak, and I shared this information with this adorable couple. Whoa. And as they were leaving, I said to the wife, here it came, it just came out, and I said, hey, by the way, you're supposed to have sex at least twice a week on a regular basis. You're supposed to have some form of stimulation and orgasm at least twice a week on a regular basis. She looked at me like, are you kidding me? Kind of like, I was not expecting you to say that to me. And I'm like, I know. If it was my mom for years, if anything came up, anything close to that, she would say, oh, gag. But I was obedient, and I followed through with what I was supposed to say. And then her husband passed by because they were on their way to leave. And he stopped me briefly and said to me, I love you. And thank you so much for sharing that. Because if I had said that, she may not have heard me, but I know she heard you. Now, I'm not saying that she discounted him because this is a magnificent couple. But how many times, even as a parent, you'll say to your children something that's really profound and important, really important, and they won't even hear it at all because they're kind of used to you talking and saying things, right? But a coach will say it, and all of a sudden they hang on every single word, right? Okay. So I was like, oh my goodness, I saw them a few days later, and I was going to share with them in more detail the importance of it, but really I didn't know why yet. And then yesterday, the Lord shared with me why. It's kind of like sometimes He tells you to do something, but it isn't until later that you receive the witness of why it is so vitally important. There was a doctor, Dr. Gregory Petersburg, that told me years ago, and he's a longevity doctor, that it's important that you have some form of sexual relationship either with your partner, or some people don't have partners and they learn how to do self-pleasuring or whatever, and you're not going to grow fur on the palms of your hands, but you learn how to be very loving and caring for yourself, and that you do have orgasms at least twice a week. And you could say, wowzers, okay, that's a little strange, a little kinky. It does not have to be strange or kinky at all. It's not like you're like thinking that you're going to be, like you're married and you're having, and maybe there's a problem where your mate is unable to be able to have that happen. I mean, some people can't because they have had problems, like for instance, with diabetes and other things where they can't function like they used to. But it's still very important that you are able to have these relationships, this relationship either with your body or with a partner. The reason for that has you all been looking at the commercials on TV and why it's so important for a woman. Because that whole pelvic area is so important that you keep those muscles strong and that they're healthy and that they're vibrant and functional. On these commercials, they're talking about pelvic mesh screens and problems with bladder control and whatnot. And we work for hundreds of attorneys, and there's all these lawsuits and everything because the medical community, bless their hearts, they are trying their best to help shore people's bodies up because the people have not been using that portion of their body for a while, and it's falling apart. And that pelvic mesh screen stuff is a problem. I mean, there's hernias and things like that. This is somewhat different. But when it's coming to bladder control situations and you have your whole uterus falling out of your body, like I know somebody very close to me is having that issue hanging out of her amazing body, and she has to wear all these things to try to shore it up and hold it back together, and you know she's not able to be intimate with her husband because of that. Or that there's people who have self-catheterization issues, and you'll see that on TV too as another commercial where you have to self-catheter yourself because you can't even void, you can't even go pee-pee because those muscles are not holding your bladder in the proper position to be able to have that happen. Or somebody who's trying, who's just like going through their day and they sneeze and they're wetting themselves, they're wetting their clothing, or they cough and they're wetting their clothing, or they happen to just kind of take, they're going up or downstairs and they're wetting their clothing. It's because they have not been taking care of that pelvic floor and keeping those muscles exercised. And how do you do it? Well, that's how you do it. Okay, it isn't just a matter of Kegels and stuff. It's the whole 9 yards, because those experiences provide more than just strengthening the muscles. They actually provide really powerful drugs and stuff that your body naturally creates where you're not having to go buy medications and stuff. It's like an oxycodone. It's this soothing, wonderful, relieving thing that helps your whole body to be able to have more balance in your life. Now, I do Chinese bed exercises every day. Really helps the lymphatic system. It helps the whole body to balance out all your meridians and everything. So powerful. But it can't balance that part. It doesn't balance that part. It doesn't deal with that. So you got to figure that one out. Thank goodness I have this amazing husband. But anyway, so I'm just sharing with you, sex is very, very important. And it helps you also with stimulating everything and making sure that it's helping your hormones to work better. It's helping you not to have the aches and pains that you would have. It helps your brain work better. It helps your just jiggy joy for life work better. So go back in and reassess, what are you doing to keep that alive in your body? Because sometimes we assume that after we get to a certain age, well, we're not really, we're not going to really be interested in that anymore. And that is a lie. That is a bold-faced lie. You're supposed to have that alive in you for all of your life. And men, if you're having a problem with being able to ejaculate, go and check and see if you are having an issue with your prostate. Check that out. Go check and see if you're having an issue with your testosterone. And women, you need testosterone too. So if you're not feeling like, let's have a little close time, or if you're having issues with feeling comfortable with being close with your partner, perhaps you might want to allow yourself to address maybe the wedges that are causing that in your relationship or in your life. All right, there is your sex talk. And it is not about how to do it, because that's part of the joy and the fun of exploring it. But just know, when I was visiting with the Lord about this, he said, we created that for your joy and for your pleasure and for you to keep it alive. It doesn't cost you a penny, and keep alive for all of your life. And the reason why we had this as a joyful thing is so that you would use it. It's supposed to be used. It's not a checklist. Okay, I got to have sex twice a week. That is at least twice a week, if not even more so. So, and the other thing is whether you recognize it or not, if you understand about chakras, that is where your wealth center is that you draw up from the earth. So if you're having problems with money problems, check out your sexual situation. Any powerful mogul or any powerful president or any powerful leader and stuff, a lot of times are very driven sexually. Maybe their upper chakras may not be developed as well, but boy, they're driven there. So if you're really high in your upper chakras being open, you might be too much in the ethers and haven't really come fully here to experience this earth experience. Make sure you're totally open all the way with your Chinese bed exercises, and make sure you're sexually alive too, and watch your wealth start to come into you. All right. Well, if this has been valuable for you, subscribe below and share it with others. It might be exactly what they are looking for. Take care. Bye.